Do you remember 10 years ago when you went on the internet, you went to Netflix, you picked a movie, then a week later you would receive a package in the mail, you would quickly open it to see all the shiny DVD discs, then you'd put it in this thing called a DVD player and watch it, then send it back only to get another one the very next week? I miss them days. Anyways guys, I'm Larry and this is the Crank Report. So why am I doing this video? Because fresh from an earnings report that saw Netflix just add over 10 million subscribers during the pandemic, Netflix has just set its most financially ambitious feature film to date, with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans set to star in The Gray Man, with HBO's Joe and Anthony Russo directing their first blockbuster since setting the all-time global box office record with Avengers Endgame 2 years ago. Wow, has it really been 2 years since Endgame? Sure doesn't feel like it. It's just how time flies when everything just goes to shit. The intention here for Netflix though is to create a new franchise with a James Bond level of scale and a budget upwards of $200 million. The Russo's HBO is producing, and the script was written by Joe Russo with a polish by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, who scripted the Russo-directed Captain America and Avengers films. They also did Pain and Gain and Chronicles of Narnia, if you remember those, and are co-presidents of Story over at HBO. It is based on the 2009 Mark McGreany novel that introduced the Gray Man, a freelance assassin and former CIA operative named Court Gentry, who will be played here by Gosling. The film will be produced by HBO's Russo Brothers and Mike LaRocca. Think of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Oblivion, and the recent Netflix original hit Extraction, along with Joe Roth and Jeff Kirschenbaum. They're eyeing a January start date in Los Angeles, with international locations still being finalized. The action thriller is a deadly duel between killers as Gentry is hunted across the globe by Lloyd Hansen, a former cohort of Gentry's at the CIA, played here by MCU alum Chris Evans. The Gray Man turned into a best-selling book series, and the expectation here is that Gosling will continue in a multiple franchise installments. The project was developed years back ago at New Regency as a Brad Pitt James Gray vehicle, but it stalled for a while. The Russos quietly have been developing it for years. Russo said, "The movie is a real mano a mano between these two great actors who represent two different versions of the CIA and what it can be and what it can do." Anthony Russo told Deadline, "For those who were fans of Captain America or Winter Soldier, this is us moving into the territory in more of a real world setting. That's what this movie really means for us." Russo also elaborated on the film's scale. The intention is for this to be competitive with any theatrical release, and the ability to do this with Gosling and Evans is a dream for us. The idea is to create a franchise and build a whole universe, much like James Bond, but with Ryan at the helm. We have all committed to the first movie, and that's gotta be great to get us to the second movie. These are master assassins, and Gosling's character gets burned by the CIA, and Evans' character has to hunt him down. We have a great working relationship with Netflix, and we go back almost 20 years with Scott Stuber. We form HBO to be an agnostic storytelling company where we figure out the best platform. We think Netflix is the perfect place for this film. This is a lot of faith Netflix is placing on the Russo brothers, but aside from the Avengers box office record, the HBO produced action film Extraction with Chris Hemsworth became the most watched Netflix original film of all time, and is currently getting a sequel in the works, with Sam Hargrave returning as director and Joe Russo writing the script. The Russo brothers formed HBO to be a platform-agnostic storytelling production venture, but if The Gray Man does work, this will give them two franchises on Netflix, each based on an original IP. They are back in business with Evans, who, like Hemsworth, graced 4 Marvel movies, and they are working with Gosling for the first time. People, I have to say here, we've been talking for years now how we'd like to get Gosling into the MCU. This could be a really good start for Gosling entering. Getting to know the creators and having a more personal relationship would be great. The Russos most recently completed directing Cherry, an indie drama based on the true story of a PTSD suffering man played by Tom Holland who self-medicates, and Rob Banks. Sounds pretty fun. It's set in Cleveland and right now is being shopped for distribution. Script is by Angela Russo and Jessica Goldberg. AGBO just oversaw the IFC midnight release of the Natalie Erica directed Relic. Me and Mike actually just recently saw this. It's kind of good, kind of not good. There's two different ways this one goes. We're going to have a review up ASAP. It's a film that made its debut at Sundance. It's in the horror genre, so it'll be up as soon as we can get it. But they also have with 101 Studios, City of a Million Soldiers, written and directed by Matthew Michael Carnahan, which premiered at Venice and Toronto last fall. The drama is about a group of men who battled ISIS. HBO as well has also separately made a deal at Amazon Studios for Citadel, a global thriller that will star Richard Madden and Priyanka Chopra. Amazon has said a local language production of the franchise will originate from Mexico in addition to versions in Italy and India. Madden and Chopra, who both have global profiles, will star in the US Mothership edition of the series. The Russo brothers also are creating a live-action version of Hercules at Disney, which I actually thought they just did that a few years ago with The Rock, but you know, I guess why not another one? And they are also adapting the novel Exit West with Netflix, a Michelle and Barack Obama Higher Ground Productions film, stating, "We hope we get that into production by late fall or early spring, COVID dependent." Joe Russo said, "It's based on a tremendous book, a modern day fable that deals with magical realism and telling the quintessential story of Middle Eastern refugees." Added Anthony Russo, "There is an element of magical realism to how the experience of being a refugee ends up playing out here. Personally, to me, if I'm being honest, it kind of just sounds like an extremely political movie. I'll probably opt out of this one. We'll have to see. I'm not a political opinion piece movie fan. I feel there is a time and place for that, and it's called politics, not art. But you never know. Like I said, we'll have to see. One thing at a time here. For sure, these guys are definitely working their fingers to the bones, though. Well, guys, I hope theaters don't lose out here. It looks more and more like, with coronavirus shutting down the theaters, Netflix and other streaming services like Apple Plus, Hulu are going for the jugular. And if it goes on too much longer, I think we can see more and more large productions like this one from other streaming services and on demand, which yes, it's cool. I really do like seeing more movies come to these platforms. But at the same time, you know, there's just something about, you just can't beat a 23 by 45 foot IMAX screen. Something none of these platforms possess. It looks like if you want to experience that, you're going to have to get a VR headset. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for coming out. I hope you liked this video. If you did, you know what to do. Subscribe button's right there. Like, comment, share as well. But until next time, guys, that's all I got. So I'll see you later.